Last night we listened to the beautiful Katha when Narad Muni is asking, he's inquiring. Tell me about the elephant head of Lord Ganesh and tell me where was it obtained and tell me what were the situations surrounding this event that unfolded. And so Lord Vishnu, after explaining in great detail to Narad Muni is not yet happy with what he has heard. Narad Muni is still very inquisitive and Narad Muni has many questions that he wants answers for. And Narad Muni remains seated at the feet of Bhagavan Vishnu. And Narad Muni begins to ask these questions that he has in mind. What questions do you think he will ask? When we have questions and when we have queries and when we have concerns, whom do we take them to? Whom should we take them to? I always laugh. One day a man said to me, Papa, I'm having trouble with my wife. But you know, I'm seeking advice from one of my friends. He was married 4 times before. And I said to him, you're taking the advice from the wrong man. Because if he could have given any advice, he would have taken advice from his own self. And he'll only have 1 wife, not 4. Sometimes we seek advice from people who are more confused than us. Sometimes we seek advice from people who are more blind than us. And sometimes we listen to their advice and they give us advice not having any knowledge. And so, Narad Muni, seated at the feet, he has moved now from in front of Lord Vishnu and now he has gone to the feet of Lord Vishnu. What kind of question do you think he's about to ask? Sitting there massaging the feet of Bhagavan Vishnu, Narad Muni is asking. Listen to what he says. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Narad Muni Sri Puchne Bhagavan Vishnu ka Sir ka Dhanav ka Aaye Tatha Karne Wale Sabhi ka Vichar ka Usne ka Shakti Roop ka Karne Unhone ka Karne Unhone ka Karne Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Narad Muni is saying, Bhagavan Vishnu, I listened to the epic about Gajasur and I listened and I observed that in the description you said that he was a demon. Taking the head of the demon, you placed it on the body of the Devata. Then tell me, then what happened to the thoughts that were going through the mind of that demon? What happened to the energies of that demon? And this demonic head was placed on this body of a god. Then tell me, what happened to those energies that were trapped in the body prior to it being placed on the body of Lord Ganesh? And hearing this, Bhagavan Vishnu, he begins to speak. And what will he say? Listen to what he says. जबी का माता अंतकार रहते गोरा भोजन करने वाले जिसमें का नाचत भाचत का देवतों का जिसमें का रहते हैं अपने का शक्ति का उपकार करने वाले जिसमें का रूप करने शुद्ध रूप करने वाले ओम गम गणपतये नमः ओम गम गणपतये नमः ओम गम गणपतये नमः. Narad Muni says, tell me, what happened to the energies that were stored in the head? Where is your memory? Where does memory come from? Hello? Where does memory come from? Oh, from a bad experience or past experience. Where is a past experience stored? Where is a past experience stored? Where is your present experience going to be stored? On the computer, there is a hard drive and the hard drive is measured by gigs. Huh? And sometimes the memory becomes full and the machine begins to malfunction. Sometimes when we too, our brain becomes overwhelmed with the situations around, we begin to malfunction. True or not? The answer is yes. Shake your head up and down. Is that true? Narad Muni asking, he says, where did all of these energies go? And Bhagavan Vishnu says, well, when the Navy started to dance and the earth started to shake, all the Devatas made their way to that place. And seeing what had unfolded, the Devatas started to bless this child with all the divine powers and noble qualities. And so by doing this, they purified him. They purified him because they instilled into him positive energy and good values. And so Narad Muni hearing this, Narad Muni says, then tell me, is it that Lord Ganesh will not remember anything from the past? Is it that? Have you ever remembered something from the past, but not the past in this lifetime, the past in some other birth? Hello? No? But you saw somebody and you felt as though you know them from somewhere, but you never met them before. Is it? You ate something and you felt as though you tasted that before, but you never did in this birth. Isn't it? You just looked at somebody and you already know you don't like them, but you had no interaction in this birth. It is because you brought that from your... And so Narad Muni asking like this, what will happen? Narad Muni says, by blessing Lord Ganesh with all of these powers, they gave to him a varadan that Lord Ganesh will be the god who governs the water. He'll be in charge of the water, the element of water. Hence the reason why when we make the murti of Lord Ganesh, we take the murti and we place it in the... Because he is the god who governs the element of water. Being given this varadan, Lord Ganesh was given the gift that he will be Pratama Puj, the first to be worshipped, Vigna Vinashan, the remover of all obstacles, Buddhidani, the giver of knowledge, Siddhidani, the giver of knowledge, intelligence. And so being blessed with all of these powers, Narad Muni says, Bhagwan Vishnu, now that he has been purified, and so he is no longer classified to be like a demon, having no qualities of the demon, then tell me, has he never done mischief before? Have you ever done something mischievous before? Hello? The answer is yes. Shake your head up and down. Have you ever made mischief before? Was it intentional or unintentional? It was humanshal. The human mind is designed in such a way that we like to make mischief all the time. True or not? Is that true or not? And so, Narad Muni, he says, then Lord Vishnu, did he ever do mischief? Lord Vishnu hearing this, he says, then tell me, how much do you love Lord Ganesh? Listen to what Narad is asking. How much do you love Lord Ganesh? Tonight if I were to ask you, you know we have Asha this evening. I'm shocked that the tent didn't fall down. Asha, how much do you love Lord Ganesh? I can't hear you. For the first time, I can't hear you. How much you love Lord Ganesh? 100%? Dave, how much you love Lord Ganesh? Bunny, how much you love Lord Ganesh? Munilal, how much you love Lord Ganesh? Munilal is saying. Narad Muni is very envious, and he doesn't want anybody to win the heart and the love of Lord Vishnu. He wants to be the most loved. And he's asking Lord Vishnu now, he says, tell me, how much do you love Lord Ganesh? And that's a trick question, you know. People ask all sorts of trick questions, and when you reply, they use it as ammunition against you. True or not? Has he ever done any mischief? Do you think Lord Ganesh will do mischief? Has he done any mischief? And how much do you love him? Now, the Katha is about to begin. Listen. Lord Vishnu begins to narrate the Narad Muni. He says, there is an epic that has unfolded. And so I will tell you about my love for Lord Ganesh. Listen, O Narad Muni. He's about to talk about mischief. And he says, at one time, I was in great meditation in the Chida Sagar. Chida Sagar means the Milky Ocean. This place where he lives, where he dwells. And so while in meditation, praying to Lord Shiva, he spent an extensive time praying. How long can you pray for? How long can you pray for? How long can you sit here for? The mind is designed in such a way that we can sit, but our attention span is very limited, isn't it? That's why up on the altar there are murtis and images and emblems and flags flying and all sorts of things, so that anytime your mind sways away, there is something to pull you back and to remind you. Lord Vishnu says, I spent an extensive time in meditation. There's some people from the time the puja starts, you see them. And you say, but you were sleeping. I saw you drooping in the presence. They say, no, I'm meditating. You know, I have to close my eyes and pray. I wasn't sleeping, I was meditating. I was in a divine trance. Enjoying, absorbing. But in order to absorb, I have to keep my eyes closed. And sometimes I have to tilt my head, you know. You ever get caught sleeping? Have you ever been in something that is supposed to be interesting and you feel sleepy and then you nod away and then you jump up? Has that ever happened to you before? You know, we do it with style, you know. Now we do it with style. So just in case you fall asleep and you realize that somebody might be seeing you, you do. Isn't it? So you do it with class, with elegance. So nobody even thinks that, you know. This morning I left home at 3:30 to go to Arima, and I'm supposed to reach there for 4:30. This morning I had a funeral for 7 o'clock, but a bandara before that funeral. And while I'm standing in the funeral, there was a Pundit and he was giving a speech. He was very lengthy. And I'm standing there, and then suddenly I looked at somebody yawning, and you know what happens when you see somebody yawning? What happens? So I yawned. But then I recognized that everybody was looking at me. But I'm wearing my mask. So then I started taking my tongue and pushing it up, stretching my face as though I'm pretending I was doing something, and I didn't yawn because I don't want it to look bad. And then I said to myself, oh what? So what? Yawning is a normal thing. You didn't do anything bad. You didn't commit a crime. Long ago, if the person next to you sneezes, you look at them and you smile and you say, God bless you. Huh? If the person next to you sneezes this evening, you know what you say? What happened to you? COVID? Wear your mask? Huh? The greeting, the acceptance is totally different. Bhagavan Vishnu says, Narad, I was in great meditation. And so after meditating for a long time, finally, I was awake. But after being awake, Mother Lakshmi brought it to my attention that there was something missing. There was something missing. And so, Narad Muni is attentive. What was missing, Lord Vishnu? And Lord Vishnu continues the time. Mother Lakshmi brought it to the attention of Lord Vishnu that missing from one of his hands is a shank that he holds. Missing from the hand of Lord Vishnu is the shank. And so Bhagavan Vishnu immediately started to comb the Kshira Sagar, the ocean, because he thought that it had fallen in there while he was in meditation. Ever put on something to go somewhere and then you miss it? And after you miss it, somebody who goes with you say, but you were wearing a chain, and so the chain is missing. Oh, familiar. In our Bhagavad Yajna, our president was wearing a necklace. She did the welcoming, and so when she sat to eat, somebody looked at her and said, where is your necklace? And she felt, and she said, oh, necklace. Everybody started to search everywhere, looking everywhere for the necklace, in the car, everywhere. And then, almost close to 12 o'clock in the night, somebody saw part of the necklace on the road. Everybody went outside on the road, and everybody now with their torchlight in the middle of the road looking for necklace. Finding it, we found most of it, 90% of it. But while out in the road, I was singing. And while I was singing, Ashish took the bottle that he was holding in his hand, his water bottle, and he was hitting it. And after we were done, maybe about 5-10 minutes after, a neighbor came out. And the neighbor said, do you all have food still? And we say, yeah, you could have come a long time. Why didn't you come? He said, well, I see you all in the middle of the road doing your ritual. And we see you all doing the prayers in the middle of the road, and we thought you have to do it 12 o'clock, so we wait till you were done, and now we came for the food. And I'm feeling ashamed, because I think nobody is seeing, nobody is hearing, nobody is observing. There is always somebody observing. There is always somebody seeing. Always remember that. There is always somebody looking on. Bhagavan Vishnu started to look everywhere. And looking everywhere, what will happen? Bhagavan Vishnu raised an alarm. And so raising this alarm, all Devatas and Devis came to help him look, except Lord Shiva. Because Lord Shiva was in meditation. And so as they came and they were helping and they were searching everywhere, what will happen? Listen, it tells us. All Devatas and Devis helping to search, they did not find it. And not finding it, then in a distance, they started hearing the echoing of the shank blowing. Have you ever heard the shank being blown somewhere in the village? Somewhere, and you wonder who is having the puja? What is happening? And in your mind you say two things. Why was I not invited? And I wonder if I'll get parsad. Isn't it? Isn't it? When you hear the shank, two things come to mind. Puja and parsad. Is that true? They started hearing the shank, and now they decided to follow the sound in which it was coming from. Have you ever followed sound to find something? You lost the cell phone and it fell down in the couch. What you will do? You'll ring the phone and then you'll follow the ring. You'll go and try to find, you'll go in the direction in which the ring is coming from. But have you ever searched the wrong couch? Because you're not sure which couch it is coming from. It is somewhere there. They started following the sound. And following the sound, what will happen? Listen. Following, the sound is coming from Mount Kailash. Who lives on Mount Kailash? Who is missing from the search? Who you think took the shank? Who you think will take the shank? Have you ever blamed somebody wrongfully? The wrong person? We all Trinidadians, we like to blame everybody all the time. But think that they didn't even dream of doing. True or not? Shake your head up and down, it's true. Is that true? All Devatas started to march to Mount Kailash. Why? Lord Shiva was missing. The shank is echoing in Mount Kailash, and so they are all going to that place. And they have already plotted in their mind with conviction that Lord Shiva is responsible for the missing shank. But making their way to Mount Kailash, Lord Shiva is in meditation. And as they enter into Mount Kailash, seeing Lord Shiva in meditation, who they will see? They see Lord Ganesh with his shank, and he's playing and blowing it as though it is a toy. Bhagwan Vishnu and all the Devatas know that getting this shank back from Lord Ganesh is no easy task. Have you ever tried to get something from the little child? Have you ever wanted to take something from the little child, but you wonder how you will do it so that the child will not cry? Hello? Have you ever had to do that before? They sit down and they begin to think, how will we be able to get this shank back from Lord Ganesh? What will we do? Because chances are he's not going to give us willingly. Have you ever given something or gifted something willingly? Have you ever gifted something and you didn't really want to give it? Hello? Did you ever give a gift and you really didn't want to give it? We are all Trinidadians, and we are all guilty of that. You buy it with the intention of giving, and you say, you know what? I will give something else. I will keep this to myself. I will use it. They begin to think about what strategy they will use to get the shank. And so thinking of this, they decided they will wait until Lord Shiva comes out of meditation. And then Lord Shiva will give the advice as to how. Standing there with their hands together, looking at Lord Shiva is in meditation. When you are praying, you should not be too concerned about who is looking at you. When you are singing, especially for God, you should not be concerned about who is listening to you. When you are dressing to worship your God, you should not be too concerned about what anybody will think about you. Do your best. Be your best. Give of your best. And forget the rest. They decide that they will wait until Lord Shiva comes out of meditation. And deciding this, what will happen? They all stood there. And just as Lord Shiva is chanting in his mind, praying in his mind to Lord Vishnu, they all begin to chant together with him, eulogizing the very same Lord Vishnu who has lost his shank. He says, oh Lord Vishnu, I know why you came. Because you have a problem. You're missing your shank, and your shank is in the care of Lord Ganesh, and you want to get back your shank. Then if you have a problem, why did you bring all of the Devatas and Devas? Why did you bring all of them? Because your problem involves you, not them. A lesson in the Katha tonight. Your problem involves, it does not involve. Say that with me. Your problem involves, and it does not involve. I feel you didn't say it good enough. You'll have to say it with me again. Your problem involves, and not anybody else. Your problem involves you and not anybody else. And the more people you bring your problem to, the bigger your problem becomes. Do you know? The more unmanageable your problem is going to become. Lord Shiva says, Bhagavan Vishnu, there is a way that you are able to get back this shank. But all of the Devatas and Devis must go back to their realm. Send them back. And now Lord Shiva is about to give an advice. Lord Shiva is saying, the way to appease Lord Ganesh and to win his heart is to perform worship to him. And so Lord Vishnu, I will suggest that you do this. Perform worship to him. Appease him through worship. How can we worship God? How should we worship God? We think that worshipping God is putting up 15 jandi at one time in front of the house. All different color. Green, orange, pink, blue, white, black, polka dot. And we think that that will impress Bhagwan. We think that that will impress God. I want to tell you with conviction from my heart, that is not how much jandi that you put up make you a good Hindu. But it's the kind of life that you live that makes you a good Hindu. But before even trying to be a good Hindu, you have to learn to be a good human being first. Before trying to be a good anything, you have to learn to be a good human being first. And so, Bhagwan, Shiva, he's saying perform worship to Lord Ganesh. And so by performing worship to Lord Ganesh, you will win his grace. You will win his heart. And so Lord Vishnu leaves Mount Kailash. And you know where he goes? He goes back to Vishnu Lok. Going back to Vishnu Lok, he begins to make preparations to perform worship to Lord Ganesh. How can we worship Lord Ganesh? How should we worship Lord Ganesh? Baba, well, I did not get a mud murti. What will I do? You have a murti on your altar. Well, I don't have a murti, but I have a picture. The murti, the picture, they are all images helping us to identify, helping us to visualize, helping us to concentrate, helping us to communicate, helping us to connect. That is what it is geared at doing. So whether it is a picture, whether it is a murti, whether it is made of whatever it is made of, it is so that you can identify divinity in that. And you can worship through that. Because the mind is designed in such a way that the mind will stray all the time. Listening to the sound that is coming, I totally forgot that every time we celebrate the independence, there is always fireworks. So that is what you're hearing, the fireworks. But strange, our country is sending up thousands and millions of dollars in fireworks. And there are people who are living here hungry and starving. There are children who are about to go to school and they don't have their books because their parents can't afford. But that's okay. We could listen to boom, boom, boom and fireworks. All of our pets in San Fernando will be in siege. I could imagine what is happening to our dogs at home. I could just imagine. But you know what? It is all about glamour. Better you send up fireworks and let everybody starve and die. You know? Priority is glamour. Did I just say that? I want to tell you I have a problem. A connection problem between my brain and and sometimes I didn't think it fast enough and I say it. So I'm using a disclaimer. There is a connection problem. So just in case can you tell if he's smiling? Can you tell? Can you look at the person next to you and tell if they're smiling? Look at them at a quick glance. Is that person smiling with you? Can you look at each other? Adi Champa, could you tell them to look at each other? Oh, now they smile. It says, Lord Ganesh is smiling. and Lord Ganesh is lifting his hand. He's Bal. Ganesha, who is the remover of all obstacles, is blessing Lord Vishnu, who is the sustainer of the creation. Listen. Ganesha, who is a child, Balaru is blessing, giving an Ashavad to Lord Vishnu, who is the sustainer of the entire creation. Is he in a position to bless? Can your children bless you? Can your children bless you? Can you bless your children? Do you bless your children? You bless them with all the wrong things. Let me say that again. You bless them with all the wrong things. You bless them with everything they say they want. Isn't it? But a want isn't a need. And you did not teach them that. You give them everything that they ask for. But you never taught them responsibility. Acquiring on your own. You never taught them that. And instead of molding them and making them into respectable, you make them into monsters. That's what you do. And then when the monster wake up, you know what happened? You too have to run. You too have to run. And in your mind you say, I don't know how they come out so now. Baba, we know how they come out so. You don't know? Well, let me tell you, Merry Christmas in advance. They came out so because of you. You encouraged everything. So you can't blame anybody but you. Blame yourself. Long ago I got very worried and concerned, and now I'm very concerned about me and the way I choose to react to the things around me. Ganesha lifts his hand and he is blessing Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu bows his head. He bows his head. And so Lord Ganesh begins to pray to Bhagwan Vishnu. Lord Ganesh creates a mantra to Lord Vishnu. And at this point, he begins to pray to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu was praying to him. He now begins to pray to Lord Vishnu. The mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya was created by Lord Ganesh to eulogize Bhagwan Vishnu. That's why Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is one of the mantras we chant all the time while we are alive, but more so when you pray on behalf of the souls of those who have died. Why? It was created by the God who removes obstacles to the God who will bless the soul on its journey to Swarga. And that's why we chant the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya continuously. Because that mantra was created by Lord Ganesh to eulogize Lord Vishnu himself. So tonight, sing with me everybody. Om. Narad Muni hearing the katha, Narad Muni says, tell me more. Tell me more. That was not mischief. Out of that, Lord Ganesh won the grace, your grace, O Lord Vishnu. Tell me, is there anything else? And Lord Vishnu is about to tell. Probably tell. Tomorrow evening we will listen. Pundit Satnarayan is about to perform the final Havan. This evening I want you to put your hands together and I want you to look at the Murti of Lord Ganesh. And tonight I want you to tell him whatever you want to tell him. Ask him for whatever it is you want to ask him. Sintra is going to sing this bhajan for us, Adi Dev Sri Ganesh. Praying to Lord Ganesh, who is the remover of all obstacles and the bestower of all successes. Pray for your children, pray for your homes. Pray. Let us all pray to Lord Ganesh as you look at the Murti of Lord Ganesh.
महादेव को
गणेश भगवान की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति, जय जय। गणपति जय जय। Tonight our katha began with a very important question by Narad Muni. Tell me about the energies that were stored in this body, and then how will it affect Lord Ganesh? Because it came from that of being demonic. Then tell me how then is it purified, and will it affect anything in pertinence to the behavior of Lord Ganesh? If we have identified based on our experiences that some of the things that happen that seem to be like deja vu, seeing somebody and you feel as though you have seen them, going to a place and you feel as though you have been there before, tasting or hearing something and feel like it is very familiar, but you know that that did not happen in this lifetime. It happened, who knows where it happened and how it happened. Then if we can acknowledge this, then it means that Hinduism teaches us and preaches to us about the law of karma and reincarnation. Then if there is to be birth after that, and there are things to remind us of the past, then what are we doing to purify our existence now? So that if we were to come back in a next lifetime, we would not be taking any unnecessary baggage with us into our next existence. What have we done to purify ourselves? We hold on to the petty, most insignificant things. We remain annoyed and angry and upset for things that are petty and of no substance. We choose to react before we listen and before we form an understanding. And if there is no understanding, then chances are you might react the wrong way. We no longer listen to hear, we listen to react. And after we react, we sit to analyze and regret the actions that we have performed. We live in a world where we know that we will not be taking anything with us, but yet we spend our whole life fighting for the material things. We live our whole life running after the material things. I want to tell you, you're saving money for tomorrow. Tomorrow may never. Do you all know that? Tomorrow may never. You want something to eat today? Buy it. You want something to drink today? Buy it. Long ago, you cooked a special meal on a Sunday. Every day is a live day. And once you're alive, it is a special day. Eat to your leisure. Exercise a little bit too. Lose a little weight too. Almost every day I come to take a walk here in Palmy's Park. Almost every day. The people who walk, they look at me and they say, you're the most disrespectful pundit we have ever met in our whole life. And I say, why? They say, because you will not stop to talk to anybody. I say, I came here to walk, not to talk. I talk in the talking time and I walk in the walking time. And so there is a time for everything. Want to hear me talk? Come from 7 to 9. Sit in the tent and listen to me talk. But while I am walking, I am walking. Never allow anybody or anything to deter you from the pathway. The pathway that you want to allow your life to go. And any being that takes away your peace of mind and your happiness. Put God first, walk behind and throw them right behind you. If they follow, it is their choice. And if they remain behind, it is their choice. But never allow them to be like gravity, pulling you down. Always forge forward, putting God first, and knowing that the impossible will become possible. Scripture has declared, and I had planned to talk about this in the Garupran. I will still elaborate in the Garupran, but Scripture has declared that there are 5 main sheets that make up the body. Pranamaya Kosh, Annamaya Kosh, Vyanamaya Kosh. And so these koshas, these sheets, they make up the body. And so when the body dies, these sheets accompany the soul into its next existence. And that's why things seem to be very familiar. That's why things seem to be as though you have experienced it before, because it has accompanied you from your previous birth. That's why they could sit and they could play the instruments with ease. That's why Sintra could put her hand and find the chord. And that's why Sharon could tell her, you're playing the wrong thing. And you have to play it because there is a law in music. And that's why Sintra could reply with a smile on her face, I am the law when I am playing my music. Because we came with that energy. We came with that aura. We came with that vibration. And that vibration has to be awakened in you. And only when situations unfold in your life, situations that seem to be unpleasant, your true power, your true consciousness is awakened only then. Your true strength is awakened only then. Because when situations come at you, you feel as though you're weak. But then when you sit and you analyze, you wonder, how did I live through that? That which I thought I would never be able to survive, how did I survive that? And then you recognize, I am more strong than I think I. I am more strong than I think I. And then you come to the realization and the understanding that God will never give me more than I can. And when I think that my situation is very bad, there is somebody who has a worse situation than me. And then you come to the understanding that my test is a lesson not only for me, but is a lesson for everybody around me. It is a learning for everybody around me to teach them how to appreciate their joys, because a day will come when joy might turn into a day might come when gain might turn into loss. A day might come when health might turn into sickness. A day might come when life will come to an end and be turned into death. Enjoy your existence to the max. Enjoy every moment as though it is your last. And keep the company of those that from the time you see them, you begin to smile. From the time you see them, they awaken a joy in you. From the time you see them, you feel comfort, not pain, not disgust, not anger, but you feel a joy to see them. Keep the company of those who hug you, not to stab you, but to love you and to show affection. For there are many people who hug us, but they're holding the knife right behind. Keep the company of those who will help you to shine and to polish yourself. Keep the company of those who will guide you onto the pathway of mukti, salvation. Keep the company of those who will teach you that worship is not only praying to Murti, but worship is the kind of life that you live. Keep the company of those who will remind you that charity begins at. Keep the company of those who will remind you and awaken the consciousness of you that the greatest gift that you can give is the gift of food, the gift of pleasant words, the gift of love, the gift of compassion. Keep the company of those who will help you to recognize that God is here, there, and keep the company of those who will remind you that before you can see God in the Murti, you must see God in those around you. Keep the company of those who will help you to be the best you that you can be. Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai.